Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Fellow Show. My name is Kyle. In this video, Sammy Watkins signs with the Green Bay Packers. They announced a 1-year, $4 million deal. What we're going to do in this video, it's going to be real quick. I basically just want to kind of show you guys what this means for the Packers in the upcoming draft. I even have some projection numbers that we can kind of model and see how Watkins is going to fit into this offense. And I'll go ahead here and share my screen. I'm just kind of looking at a few things. In terms of the overall offense, here is how Watkins is going to fit. And we'll look at some of his stats. And I know if there's some negative hate on Sammy Watkins joining the Green Bay Packers, we'll cover that later. But he's the same cost as Allen Lazard, Randall Cobb. So we got him for dirt cheap, $4 million. He's essentially a wide receiver 3 for that cost. And I'm pretty happy with it. If we can get some of the production of what he's done in the past, I'd be totally happy with that, as well as drafting some rookies. But here we go. Watkins is starting receiver, Allen Lazard starting receiver, and then we're going to have Randall Cobb as our starting slot receiver. Now, again, as I record this, it's April 14th, 2 weeks away from the draft. It's Thursday, so in 2 Thursdays we're going to have the draft, and we're going to get some rookies on this team. So for now, Watkins is starting wide receiver, and here's what he's done in the past. I know Watkins, injury prone player. You can label him for whatever you want. He's a bum, washed up, whatever you feel like you can label him as. I'm going to be optimistic about this. I feel really good about Sammy Watkins joining the Green Bay Packers. I have a feeling he's going to be energized to work with Aaron Rodgers after working with Lamar Jackson and the Ravens passing attack last year. He's 28 at the moment. He's going to turn 29 on June 14th. And here are his stats that he's had the last few seasons. So last year with Baltimore, he played 14 games. He only played 13 games, started 9 of them. He had 27 receptions for 394 yards and a touchdown. The year before that, I guess he spent 3 years with Kansas City. And he hasn't played a full 16-game season since his rookie year. But last year with the year before with Kansas City, 37 receptions, 421 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The year before, Kansas City's Super Bowl year, 52 receptions, 90 targets. He had 673 yards and 3 touchdowns. I think this is what I'm looking for. If I can get 13, 14 games out of Sammy Watkins, that's what we would love to see. I don't know about getting 90 targets, but I think you look at what he did with the Rams, where he played 14 games. He started 14 games. He saw 70 targets, 39 receptions, 593 yards, and 8 touchdowns. I think you're looking at basically a 2017 to 2019 scenario for Sammy Watkins, where he's going to catch 40 to 50 passes. He's going to catch roughly 600 some yards and 6 to 8 touchdowns. I think that's totally reasonable. And I guess if we're looking at, again, in terms of salary here, this is the Packers, how their money is broken down this season. Of course, Rodgers and Bakhtiari at the top. We're going to scroll on down here. Randall Cobb's making $4.149 million. Allen Lazard just a share under $4 million. So he's getting paid the same money as Cobb, Lazard. Now, I do think the Packers were comfortable with, essentially, we have 4 wide receivers on the roster. We have Cobb, Lazard, Sammy Watkins, and Amari Rodgers. So we have those 4 guys. It's common for the Packers to carry 6, maybe 7 receivers. But for sure 6, and guys that are going to be on the chopping block here, Malik Taylor, Juwan Winfrey. So we do have 2 open spots here. Now, I think in terms of the draft, this is kind of how I have been breaking things down here. This is my spreadsheet. I do projections for fantasy football. And just in terms of what I have been doing here, I've been penciling a rookie wide receiver here and a second rookie wide receiver. And I have Sammy Watkins plugged in right here. So last season, the Packers threw 593 passes in a 17-game season. So going, backwards, I think Nathaniel Hackett going to Denver, and now Stenavich being promoted from his running back duties to be the offensive coordinator. You're probably going to see a little bit more run-heavy Packers offensive scheme. So what I'm doing here is I'm reducing it, and I'm being just a little bit, optimistic and room for error here. I'm giving the Packers 575 pass attempts. Hopefully Rodgers plays the full season. Jordan Love just needs to do some mop-up duty. But anyways, 575 total passing attempts from our quarterbacks. And last year, so these are last year's stats, the total targets to the running backs, A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones, Patrick Taylor, and Kylan Hill, we had 106 total passes to the running backs. So this year, I'm feeling there might be a little bit more. We might see Aaron Jones used more as a receiving weapon. So here I gave him 70, 40 for Dillon. We're up to 120 roughly running back targets. If we go to the tight ends real quick, Josiah DeGuara, Lewis, Tunyon, and a couple other guys here. We ended up with almost 100 targets to the tight end. So I kind of did the same thing this year, leaving roughly 110. So we have the running backs and the tight ends out of the way. Now, Devontae Adams is leaving behind 169 targets, guys, 1,553 yards and 11 touchdowns. You factor in Marquez Valdez-Scantling leaving behind his 55 targets, over almost 2,000 yards, 14 touchdowns, and well over 200 targets available here. We're not just going to replace that with Sammy Watkins. We're going to need a rookie receiver in the first round, and we're also going to need another rookie receiver, someone like John Mechie, Alec Pierce, Tyquan Thornton, someone that can go vertical and stretch the field. So I think Watkins will be just a solid veteran presence, along as Allen Lazard, as well as Allen Lazard. So here's kind of how I shook down the targets. Let me just kind of zoom in a little bit farther here. So again, I'm penciling rookie wide receiver to lead our team in targets with roughly 90 right now. And that number, in plus or minus, this is just a variable for now. It depends if we trade up for Garrett Wilson or Olave or Drake London, Jameson Williams, whoever. I think the chances of a rookie receiver being the best receiver on the team this year, pretty good. I'm hopeful for Treylon Burks as the worst case scenario at 22. I think he could be a really fun slot receiver. We're talking Lazard and Watkins on the outside with big Treylon Burks in the middle doing stuff horizontally. So I like the idea here. 90 targets or so, and Allen Lazard slated for 85, Sammy Watkins about 75. And again, that kind of goes back to what I said, a mixture between his Rams season of 70 targets, 39 receptions, 593 yards, and 8 touchdowns, and then roughly giving him what he did in Kansas City as his high end, where he had 90 targets, 52 receptions, 673 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So I think, again, a realistic expectation for Sammy Watkins. Let's go ahead here. Again, we got him with 75 targets. Maybe he reaches, 45 receptions or something like that. We'll give him 625 yards or something like that, and anywhere from 6 to 8 touchdowns. I think that's totally doable here for a guy like Sammy Watkins. So quick video. I'm excited about it. I still think the Packers, again, we're gonna be getting a first round receiver. And I really like the opportunity in round 2, whether it's pick number 53 or pick number 59, looking at one of those receivers that we can't be guaranteed that he's going to be there round 3. So, take your guy, David Bell, Alec Pierce, John Mechie, who is starting to grow on me a lot. Sky Moore. If Sky Moore falls, let's go get Sky Moore. So I'm super excited to have Sammy Watkins as a part of the roster. I think Aaron Rodgers is as well. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you for watching. I'm going to actually run a Packers mock draft now that we have penciled in Sammy Watkins as one of our veteran receivers. I'm going to go ahead and do another mock draft. So I will link that at the end of the video and check that out as well. Thank you guys so much for your time. Have a good one. Peace.